Hi there, I'm Rebecca Robeson, and welcome to A Kin-Woven Christmas, another video in our series on how to make your home beautiful for the holidays. I'm doing something that I've never done before, and that is I'm putting a Christmas tree in my master bedroom. One of the reasons is I actually have space in my master bedroom. Right now I'm standing in my retreat area, and I moved my desk out that used to sit here, and today I'm going to erect this tree. Now, this tree is not something new to my repertoire. It's actually one that I did about 4 years ago, and it is a fan favorite. The first step when decorating a tree is to fluff the branches. It's where you go in and you see how this has been crinked because it's been in storage for a year? Well, it's actually been in storage for 4 years. You just straighten out each one of the branches, and literally I end up touching every single branch. This is a laborious step, but one that will make a difference in your tree by the time you are finished decorating it. You'll be amazed at the difference between branches that have been fluffed and branches that haven't. Just to make my point, I am going to fluff up one side and leave the other side unfluffed so you can see the difference. Here's my comparison tree. If your tree looks like this before you start decorating, but after you fluffed it, you get an A+. If your tree looks like this and it never looks any better than this, then you're here at the right place at the right time. Fluff your tree. I'm gonna take my little extension cord, plug in the lights that came with the tree, and voila! Very underwhelming, but we're gonna add lights later on in the process. While I'm dealing with lights, I'm gonna add an extension cord that has multiple places to plug in your lights. This works really well on a super tall tree, but what I love about this is you can kind of work these inside the tree and plug in any additional lights that you want to add. I'm going to add this down the center, and then I'm going to plug in at all these different places what I need when I need it, and if I don't use all of them, that's fine too. Look at these. Now, these don't have a control on them. Sometimes you can buy these and they have the control, like the one on my fireplace. I can set it to the amount of throbbing that I want. But look at that, isn't that pretty? But if that's on the edge of the tree, that's annoying. But look at this, like this. Now it's not gonna be in a big ball like that. But do you see how her action under her skirt is so subtle that it's just there adding the magic without being, you know, a sideshow. Step number 3, put on her womanly charm. Okay, bring her down. Okay, now, dun, da da da. Now you know why I call this my Cinderella tree. Look at her, isn't she amazing? Step number 4 is to fluff up her little skirt around her waist. So doesn't she look amazing? Already she's starting to come together, come into her own world. But now step number 5, we are going to fill her in. Right here is a smattering of the different types of picks I have. Part of the problem is it takes a lot of picks to fill this thing in, and I don't have any one style in the volume or the number that I need, the quantity. So I am mixing and matching, but actually I think it makes for a really beautiful look. This time I'm gonna start the ombre effect being with the green on the top and working its way to the white at the bottom. Doesn't that sound beautiful? So even though this is a remake of a tree I've done before, I think she's going to turn out quite different. Which inspire your So the pick insertion is complete. And what I've created here is actually, I think it's better than the original Cinderella Christmas tree. In fact, it's almost so regal and so beautiful that we began to think, the girls and I were talking about it, you know what? Maybe this should be a respectful homage to Queen Elizabeth, the late, great Queen Elizabeth. We all loved her, and she's not with us anymore. This will be the first Christmas without her in my lifetime. So this is gonna be our regal Queen Elizabeth tree. So let's kind of break it down. How did I construct this tree? This right here, these are heavily flocked pieces that I actually cut one of my garlands and took all the lights off to use to stick in the tree in the lower parts to fill it in. Then, as we moved up the tree, I used some of these icy picks right here that have this amazing tip on them and some pine cones to start filling in as I went up. As we get a little bit higher in the tree, I use this particular pick, which actually has like these little, almost looks like pearls on them, but they're just little balls, I guess, of snow, mostly ice. And then at the top around her waistline, I used branches like this that we cut apart and stuck all the way around the top to create this look. There's also some things like right here, I had some almost like Boston fern pieces that are flocked. And finally here at the bottom, to create almost a feeling that this dress has not only a train, but this relaxed look, I took an entire frosted or actually snowed on flocked garland and laid it all the way around the bottom, because the tree itself just didn't even really hit the floor. So this fills that in. Those little twinkly lights are behind it. And then we stuck in additional heavily flocked, look at this, very heavily flocked pieces to create that look of it kind of flowing out even more. We are going to add a ring of what we call fairy lights, but they're a curtain of lights. And I'm gonna place it around the top of her skirt. And each one of these little bundles here, do you see? These have been used before, so when we're done, we take them off and then we roll them up and tie them individually. Otherwise, this ends up being a hot mess for next year. But this should make it easy. And what this is gonna do is this is gonna add a layer of magic and icing to the top. So this is where you can use the wire that's in the branches themselves. Peplum is. I feel like I'm saying something my mother would know. It's kind of like, you know how if you have a suit jacket goes like this and then it kicks out at the bottom and it's short? That's a peplum. So I take the long stem that comes with these and I cut it off with my chomper, create a little crook so that it has something to grab on. It goes down in that little waistline, and then I bend it a little bit so that it has some life to it. It doesn't just hang flat, it kind of curves over. Is that amazing? And I love this like going up in the back like a bustle. Oh my gosh, I love it. But I'm also going to, I have these really cool picks. I've never used them before. And I thought, I wonder, I mean, maybe the queen tree is the tree for these. And it just sort of cascades down. Whew, pretty. What do you think? We made a necklace out of one of my garlands of rhinestones that I got years ago. and this beautiful like placard. Do you realize this tree has absolutely no ornaments on it? It's strictly lights, picks, and some adornment here at the top. There's not even ribbons, and yet it is so beautiful. My hope is that as you've been able to watch this video, you too can now see why we believe this tree is fit for a queen. Queen Elizabeth, you are sorely missed, and we loved you. You know, one of the things about this video that I want to point out is everything that you saw on this tree is something that I've had in my supplies of Christmas decorations. And quite frankly, I have used them over and over and over again. And remember the tip that if you don't have the quantity that you need or want of something, try mixing and combining some of the supplies that you have. For our Design Sessions members, we have a Christmas decorating video that's going to be coming out this month. It's all about how to take the things that you have, use them in a different location, revive them, refresh them, fluff them up, and make them look new and fresh each year. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're not a subscriber, we invite you to join us. We have a great time here. We're so glad that you're here. Join along with us because we're having a good old time here at Ken Woven. And guess what? The year 2023, oh my gosh, guys, it is the year of you.